Hello everyone, it's Jamie and welcome back to my channel and welcome to another weekly cross-stitching crafting video. In this video, I'm going to be working on my two cross-stitch projects that I'm currently focusing on. I have way more cross-stitch projects, but I put them all to the side, and my focus projects right now until the end of the year are these two. This is Autumn Harmony artwork by Maxine Gadd, charted by Maxine Gadd. She is on 18 count, 2/1 full cross. And this is Drinks on the Beach, which is the 2025 stitch along from Hade, which is Heaven and Earth Designs. And this one is on a 32 count, 1/1 half cross. So my plan for this week going forward is I'm going to be trying to color complete. So for Autumn Harmony, I'm going to be trying to finish colors throughout this entire piece and try and get some more zeros because I currently have 8 colors finished throughout this whole piece, and I would like to get some more colors finished, especially because there's a lot of colors that have like 5 stitches left, 10 stitches left, and so I want to get some of those ones done and out of the way. So that's what I'll be doing for Autumn Harmony. And for Drinks on the Beach, I'm only focusing on the top half of the chart right now. So I'm going to be trying to color complete throughout this top section. I'm not going to be stitching down lower because I don't need that for my goal for this piece for this year. So I'm just going to be trying to finish colors throughout this area. And currently I don't know if I have any colors on this one finished in this top section. So we will see how many I get done, and I'll try and do like little check-ins throughout the week when I get colors finished. And then this week I will also be working on my crochet blanket, which is a corner to corner blanket. It's getting close to being done. I have 6 cakes of the yarn that I'm using, which is the Karen Slice of Anniversary Cake in the Color Book Club, and I am currently on my 5th cake. So I am hoping to have it done soon. So I'm hoping at the end of this video it'll be a finished blanket. So I will be back once I have done some crafting. I am back with a little midweek check-in. It is currently Monday, and the last time I filmed was I think like Thursday or something like that. And I have been working on my 2 pieces, Autumn Harmony and Drinks on the Beach. I only missed 1 day on Drinks on the Beach, but I did my Autumn Harmony stitches every day so far this week, which is good. And for Drinks on the Beach, I tried to make up for missing a day by doing extra stitches the next 2 days. So I did almost 700 stitches on Drinks on the Beach 2 days in a row. Anyways, showing progress. So Autumn Harmony, it's going to be slightly hard to tell progress on her because I moved the hoop a couple of times because I'm trying to finish off some colors. And so we will go over how many colors I have finished so far on Autumn Harmony real quick. So Thursday I finished 4 colors, Friday I finished 1, Saturday I finished 4, and then Sunday I finished 2. So we have, how many is that? 11 colors finished so far on Autumn Harmony, which is exciting. And some of them were colors where they only had like 3 stitches left, but then some of them were colors that had like a couple hundred stitches left in her arm. So I'm really focusing right now on getting this arm finished because a lot of the colors in her arm are only used in her arm. So I don't have to move the hoop a lot. And then after that, I'm going to be doing a lot of jumping around between the top and the bottom because there are colors here that are also used down here, and so it's going to be a little bit harder to finish those colors. I'm actually thinking about when I get to that point about trying to put like a hoop here and then a hoop at the bottom, and then that way I won't have to necessarily move the hoop. I'll just try and get as much as I can into 2 hoops. I don't know, we'll see. We'll try it out. So that was Autumn Harmony. And then for Drinks on the Beach, I have not finished as many colors on this one because this one I have been working on colors that still have like a few hundred stitches left in the area that I'm working. So I finished, let's see, 4 colors in the top half of the chart. So I was just trying to do more, like I said, like kind of foundational stitching. So I finished off one of the colors in this umbrella. I finished off this one blue color in the top, and then I also finished off this green in the top. And then now I am currently working on some of these like kind of like salmon-y colors in the picture. And those ones have quite a bit of stitches because those colors are really heavily used right in here. So yeah, that's what I am doing for Drinks on the Beach, and it's going well. I am still on track to get this finished before the end of the year. Also, something else I was going to mention for Autumn Harmony, I am officially under 20,000 stitches left on her. I think there's like 19,000 something stitches left on Autumn Harmony. So that's exciting to be at the under 20,000 stitch mark. Yay! I'm also currently at like 89.5% or something. So I'm getting really close to being at 90%. So little milestones being reached on Autumn Harmony, and it's really making me feel like I'm actually gonna finish this, because for a while I really was just like, obviously I know eventually it will get finished, but it felt like it was going on forever. And yeah, I'm just excited. She's getting closer to being done. And anyways, I'll be back in a couple more days once I have done more stitching, and we will see how many more colors I can complete in the next couple of days. It is now Thursday, and I am back with my final update for this video, which I'm gonna say there was one project I didn't work on a ton. I will show that project first. That is Drinks on the Beach. So since the last time I filmed, which was on, I think, Sunday, Monday, I don't remember. I worked on this once and I did 700 stitches. So here it is after another 700 stitches. And I finished 2 more colors in this top section on Drinks on the Beach. So that brings my total amount of colors finished in the top half to, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the last week. So yeah, this one was kind of not a lot of progress because I didn't work on it a ton. But Autumn Harmony, I did almost 1,000 stitches on Autumn Harmony yesterday alone. So she has been getting a lot more stitching, and so I will show you where I am on Autumn Harmony. So this is the half that I am currently working on. And so I did fill in more of this section here, which is tons of confetti. I strongly dislike this section. I've also been doing more of this arm area because this area is easier because it's a lot of just blocks of color. And then I did do some of the leafy bits in here. So on Autumn Harmony this week, I had started off with 8 colors complete in the chart. And I finished 17 colors this week, which means I have finished 25 colors and I still have 75 left because this chart was 100 colors. So yeah, I still have a lot of colors left to complete, but some of the colors only have like 3 stitches, but they are all over. There will be like 1 stitch here, 1 stitch here, and then 1 stitch, you know, up here. So they are like spread throughout the chart, which is kind of annoying and frustrating. But yeah, I'm getting so close to getting her finished, which I don't have my phone where I can see it, but I only have, I think it's like 17,000 stitches left on Autumn Harmony. It's like a little over 17,000. And so I am just at a point I want to get her done. And so I think I might change my plans a little bit going forward just because I'm really excited to work on Autumn Harmony. And so I will talk about that in my next video because I've just been thinking about, you know, doing a little change to my plans, and we will see what happens. Also, because I'm going to say this, I am really wanting to get Autumn Harmony finished, but I am also getting to a point where I want to start working on other things. So I want to be able to work on a few other things in December. So yeah, I'll talk about my plans and like the changes I think in my next video because I'm still trying to decide exactly what I want to do. So that was my cross stitching and crochet. I have a crochet finish. So I have been working on the From Here to There blanket, which is a free pattern on the Yarnspirations website. It uses the Karen anniversary cakes, and I was using the slice of anniversary cake, which is like a smaller version of the anniversary cake, and I was using the color Book Club. And I had 6 cakes, and my plan is once I had used 3, because you are making this blanket like half and then you do decreases to make the other half. And so I was like, once I get 3 cakes used, I will start my decreases, and then hopefully that will use about all yarn. I'm going to show you how much yarn I had left because I was getting so scared at the end. This is all I had left. I was so scared when I was crocheting the last corner of this blanket because I was like, what if I run out? And like, these are like limited colors, so you can't get them all the time. And if I wanted to buy it like from a reseller, people are selling these for ridiculous prices online. And so I was like, if I run out, this blanket is just either going to be not a square, it will just be like, because you're decreasing, and so I would have just had like a little corner that was like not an actual corner. It would have had like a little and so I was like, I'm either gonna end up with a blanket that is not a square, or I will just have to use a different color. But I finished it. I finished with this much left. So here it is. It is a fairly big, good size blanket, but I am in love with it. I love it. Which I'm so excited because I just realized that this year I have finished 2 blankets because I also made the 2% crochet along blanket, and then I finished this one, yay! Which blankets were always really difficult for me because I'd always start them and I'd be so excited, and then partway through you get bored because like blankets are very repetitive generally. You're usually like this one, you're doing the exact same like stitch the entire way through. So it does get very kind of boring, but at the same point it makes it perfect for watching a show because you don't even really have to look. You're just like, okay, I'm doing a bunch of double crochets. You do 3 double crochets. What was it? Chain 3 double crochets, a slip stitch to join it to the next block, and then yeah, just doing the exact same thing over and over and over. But I have a blanket. What I was going to mention though, the Karen anniversary cakes, I don't know. I like the colors. It's like a chunky yarn, so it's nice and thick. This definitely feels like it will be a warm blanket, you know? It's got like a weight to it. But I had 6 cakes. I think each cake had a factory knot in it. And these were the smaller ones, so they were not like the large anniversary cakes, which I was just like, how many factory knots are in those? Does that have even more? So yeah, for the first time that I had used the anniversary cakes, I was kind of not impressed with the amount of factory knots because it made a lot more ends for me to weave in, but I did weave in all the ends yesterday, so it is fully finished, fully ready to be used in perfect time because it is getting colder. So that is my corner to corner blanket, my first corner to corner blanket, and I think I will be making more because it's just easy to do. So it's easy, and you could really use any amount of yarn because basically if you know how much yarn you have, just start your decreases once you've used half, and then you'll end up with, you know, a little almost nothing left. I was so worried. So that was the only crochet I did. I do need to start working on my knit tank top because that was my plan, is finish the blanket and then focus on another project to get it finished. And so the next project will be the Snakes and Ladder tank, which I don't remember who it's by. It's in this bag, which has just a ton of random things. I usually will bring this bag in the car with me when I go to pick up my kids, and I will usually throw like everything in here. So like right now it has a ton of yarn. I will usually also throw in my Kindle and my headphones, and so when I'm doing school pickups, I can like do pretty much anything. So like yesterday at the school pickup, I was working on my memory square blanket. I think that's what it is. Mitered square, something like that. I've seen it called multiple things. I think I've seen it called a memory blanket. You're making these little mitered squares, so you're picking up stitches, and you can just use your little scraps of yarn, which is what I have been doing, and it's not very big. And so yeah, yesterday I was working on this when I was waiting for my kids, and I still need to finish this square. I had started this, I think, at my last pickup, because if I start it, my kids are in 3 different schools right now, middle, high school, elementary, which means 3 different pickups. If I started it at the first pickup, then I would have been able to finish it, but I didn't start it until the last pickup, so I will have to keep working on that. And then I just have like scraps of yarn that I can use for that blanket, or I also have my granny squares because I'm working on making granny squares out of my scrap yarn. So I have my crochet hook, and so I can make granny squares and put them in this little pouch. And this has, the whole reason I pulled this out is that this has the Snakes and Ladders tank, because I did work on it a couple of times in the pickup line, but I am not close to being done. So I don't remember the last time that I showed it, but it is, there's scrap yarn all over. This is worked from the bottom up, and the way that you do the little lines is you just do purls randomly, kind of. So you do, it says like how often you should do them, how many rows, and then you're just randomly placing these purl sections to make like the little design on the tank top. So I think it says to knit it until it's 10 inches. I don't remember, before you start doing like the armhole shaping, and I think I was close to the 10 inches, but I'm going to be knitting longer because I am slightly taller than average. I think I'm 5'7", so I need my things to be a little bit longer. Okay, I am at 9 inches, so I'm getting close to where I need to do probably, I would say like 3 more inches, 3 or 4. I don't know. I need to try it on, and then I'll be able to do the armholes. And this does go fairly fast because the yarn I'm using is a thicker yarn. I don't remember the thickness of it, but it is the K&C Essentials cotton, which I got from Joann's, and my color is Full Moon. So yeah, I want to get this finished and off the needles. And this one's really easy though right now, because right now, like I said, you're just doing knits and then randomly doing like a little line of purl stitches. So that's pretty easy. But yeah, this bag has a ridiculous amount of stuff. So yeah, it's just got scraps of yarn from all my different projects. And it has a little notebook, because you never know when you're going to write something down when you're working on a project. And I also included, I wrote down the pattern for my granny squares so I won't forget. I wrote down the hook size, and I wrote down the directions for the mitered square, which is really simple because it's 20 stitches on each side. So you're either picking up or casting on stitches, and then you're just doing decreases on the right side, which the pattern I use is from Anna Knitter. On YouTube, she had a video where she talks about how she did her blanket, and I just followed that. But I wrote it down because I have been working on this blanket for years at this point, and so I would keep forgetting which decreases and stuff. And so yeah, I wrote it down just so that I know exactly what I'm doing. And yeah, now this can all go back into the bag until school pickup time. But yeah, this bag is a little chaotic. And so yeah, I'll be working on the Snakes and Ladder tank top. I do want to start making swatches for a skirt because I do want to make a knit skirt, and I know that's going to take time, and I need to make sure that I am knitting the right size, because I did not used to always do gauge swatches, which means that your things might not always end up being the right size. So this time I will do a gauge swatch, and that usually, you know, it adds a little bit of time to make the gauge swatch, wash it, block it, and all that. So I'll be working on that. Also, I was going to mention too, in the change of plans, is I have realized that the blankets that I've been working on, the granny square and the mitered square, I have not worked on them very much. Like, they just keep getting pushed to the side. So that was something in December that I was thinking about, like, of the changing my plans a little bit, because I want to be able to fit other things into December. And I was thinking about doing like a thing where every day in December I have that little advent box. I need to see if they would actually fit in the box, of putting like scrap yarns into my little advent box, and then every day in December picking a yarn to make either a granny square or add to my knit blanket. And that way I would be able to get, you know, 24 possible squares added to these scrap projects. And yeah, that was something that I want to be able to do, which means, like I said, I might change my plans a little bit. So I gotta think about how it will work out. So that will, like I said, I'll talk about it in my next video. I think that's all for this video though, because I've been talking for quite a while about knitting and crocheting, I feel like. I have not finished any books. I am currently listening still to Crescent City and The Silent Patient, which I just started that one yesterday, so I don't really have a good, review of it or anything. And I have mostly been watching shows and not listening to audiobooks though. So I watched the show All Her Fault, which was on, I think, Peacock. So good. I enjoyed it a lot. Like, it was very entertaining, a very entertaining TV show. And I still have not finished Witcher. I think I have 3 episodes left, but I started watching All Her Fault and then I just was binging that show. And in All Her Fault, it is about a little boy who goes missing and the search for him. And it was pretty good. Lots of twists and turns. And then I have not been playing games. I have just been cross-stitching. I mean, like I said, I did 1,000 stitches on Autumn Harmony yesterday, which took quite a while because I'm slow when I'm doing full cross. But yeah, that's all that I have for this video. I will see you all next week when I talk about possible changes to my plans. I hope you all are having a good fall or spring, depending on where you are living, and I will see you all next time. Bye!